Josh Hawley of the great state of Missouri, member of the Senate Judiciary and Homeland Security Committees. Great to see you, Senator. First of all,
thank you.
Who has the law on their side in terms of this judge who's stepping between ICE taking a man who's in court on charges and that illegal immigrant, we know he's here illegally, being held by ICE? Is it the judge who's right or Homeland Security?
Well, I think it's Homeland Security. I mean, listen, I think that we are past the time for these judges to be stopping ICE from doing their work. For too long, the Biden administration hamstrung ICE. They hamstrung our border enforcement. They hamstrung our interior enforcement. Now we've got judges all across the country, Harris, who are trying to do the same thing, whether they're doing it in individual courtrooms or issuing these nationwide injunctions. We've got to put these judges back where they belong constitutionally. They're not allowed to set national policy. They're not allowed to run immigration policy. That's not their role. That's not their job. They're making America less safe. And it's important ultimately that Congress take action here, at least when it comes to federal district judges.
Well, look, there's that hearing that's going on right now. You'll hold one in the Senate tomorrow about those activist judges. But if they know they're not supposed to be in the lanes of immigration and the such that you just outlined, how are they doing it?
Well, they're doing it by abusing their Article 3 authority. What they're doing is they're using their power to issue injunctions, and every judge does have the power, Article 3 judge, federal judge, does have the power to issue an injunction to say you must do this or that. But here's the catch, Harris. Here's the important thing. They can only issue injunctions to the parties that are in front of them. They cannot go out and say, you know what, I think I'm just going to issue an injunction that holds the entire country hostage to my will. They can't do that. The Constitution doesn't allow them to do that, but they're doing it anyway. Harris, they've done it 15 times against Trump in the month of February alone. Congress needs to fix this. It's unbelievable.
All right, I want to go to this. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt sparred with a reporter over the deportations of illegal immigrants. Let's watch together.
You can get classified by simply having certain symbols in your tattoos and wearing certain streetwear brands. That alone is enough to get someone classified as TDA and sent to El Salvador.
That's not true. There is a litany of criteria that they use to ensure that these individuals qualify as foreign terrorists and to ensure that they qualify for deportation. And the president made it incredibly clear to the American public that there would be a mass deportation campaign of not just foreign terrorists, but also illegal criminal aliens who have been wreaking havoc on American communities. And shame on you and shame on the mainstream media for trying to cover for these individuals.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem actually visited that prison in El Salvador where the president deported illegal gang members. Here she is.
While we were there at that prison, we not only talked about how to identify these members of these terrorist organizations, but what they did, their actions they took, the case files we built on them, and how we verified that those individuals should be there in that prison. We are doing due diligence to make sure that we're going after these criminals that have perpetuated violence on American citizens, and we're removing them from our country.
I want to get your reaction to the back and forth on this. This is what the American people said was one of their top issues, the issue of illegal immigration.
I would just say that the double standard coming from the left, Harris, is glaring and it is revealing. Let's just think back to a couple of years ago when Joe Biden was activating the FBI and the Justice Department's counterterrorism division against parents who went to school board meetings and asked that their children not be put into masks. So that was enough to get a knock on the door from the FBI. But now these folks who are not citizens, they are here illegally. They are gang members. And now the left is whining and fussing and complaining that they are not getting full dress trials. They're not being treated as citizens. Of course, they're not being treated as citizens. They aren't citizens.
Right.
They are not entitled to the protections of citizenship, and terrorists should be removed.